at least the goals that drove the formulation of CECI Uganda at that point
Mhm.
was something that was very personal to myself
Mhm.
and also
Mhm.
very personal to the friends and team that we had at the earliest point of formulating CECI. For example, one of our objectives really focuses more on promoting access to formal and informal education
Mhm.
for refugees. And
Interesting.
this is really hugely informed by the realities that
Mhm.
so many refugees have gone through and what is
Mhm.
actually also happening like in the
Mhm.
refugee settlement. Like
Mhm.
from a personal experience.
Mhm.
So my grandparents got displaced. I think it
Mhm.
was probably in the 80s, like in the first war. No, I think SPLM war, and they got displaced, and so they had to go to Uganda and become refugees. I think that was where, for the most part, at least part of my parents were raised up. At one point, they moved back, and that was where my dad and my mom met. My mom and my dad, like, I found mine is here. And I was like, so I think they met each other after returning
Mhm.
from Uganda to
Mhm.
South Sudan, where they also lived for really a very short time, to be honest. And then they were displaced again by another war. Yeah, I think it was like 1994,
Mhm.
probably around there.
Mhm.
And yeah, they had to move. They were forced to move, so they had to go back to Uganda as refugees and something like that.
Mm.
And that was where some of us were born with my siblings and other stuff like that.
Oh, wow.
And they went back, and again, the same thing happened with me. So when you look at this, it's
Mhm.
three generations that have consistently been displaced. And in the process, what has happened is they have experienced like huge educational disruptions that have left
Mm.
most of them without
Mhm.
access to the education they so
Mm.
desperately needed. Yeah, and they were deprived of education by the war. And the same thing that happened to them and my parents is the same thing that also happened to us. The war came in. Some of us were just, going to school and stuff like that, and that was also disrupted. And in the refugee settlement, it was more or less not different, to be honest. Much as there
Mhm.
is access to education,
Mhm.
and thanks to all the partners and donors and governments that are supporting those efforts, I think they're really, really important. And it's
Mhm.
good that people who are helping do that,
Mhm.
they are probably not, we could say, not offering the best education. Like, it is good,
Mm. Mhm.
but it's not the best quality.